Although apparently we've got a little bit of a debate going on.
Oh, what's that?
A little bit of Carnell Tate, the wide receiver for Ohio State. That's one of the headlines coming out of the Combine. So Carnell Tate finished within the 4.45, 4.47 range for his 40, according to a batch of NFL executives and GMs, according to Schefter. But that differed from the official time of 4.52. So I'm trying to figure out where things...
That's always been a thing, though.
...got sideways. Schefter posted on Sunday morning, quote, Ohio State wide receiver Carnell Tate, a potential top 10 pick, was timed by several NFL executives and GMs on Saturday with a 40 time in the range of 4.45, 4.47. But the official time is 4.52. Now...
Well, hold on. So did Schefter do this for any other players at the Combine who ran the 40?
I don't recall. And there was a lot that ran it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So are we actually saying Brennan Thompson, who ran a 4.26, the wide receiver out of Mississippi State, does this mean that his was probably faster than that? Is that what we're saying? Like, how should we look at the rest of the 40-yard dash times if Adam Schefter is opening up Pandora's box that apparently the official times aren't all that accurate since some of the teams do their own, or most of the teams do their own.
Yeah, there you go.
And yet their times were like half a second faster.
You'll get like 2 or 3 different times, but the official time is generally always the slowest of all the times that are recorded.
I know you think we're being serious, LaVar, but we are not. So this segment is more about Adam Schefter than anything else.
Yeah. I mean, I picked up on the fact that you said he didn't do it with anyone else. So, okay, well, go ahead, have at it.
Schefter, well, that's kind of my general point. Is as I look at what's all transpired in the past few months, and people need to understand this. You know, Disney bought into the ownership of the NFL. All right, their media properties, they're working hand in hand in some ways. I would say, the Super Bowl, since it was NBC's. It wasn't really their opportunity to, I guess, shine or potentially reveal what that relationship looks like. But now we have one of the first instances where Adam Schefter doing something, which, mind you, I don't recall him really doing before either. Like, I know he's always reported on different things that have come up with players. But to take a stance where you're essentially tweeting about only one player specifically who, and again, I don't want to get into in the weeds on all this because, as far as the 40-yard dash times go, I remember, do you guys remember when Tyreek Woolen ran it and he actually ran the fastest at that time, but they rolled it back?
Oh, that's right.
They made the official time actually slower to like a 4.27, 4.28. And I know the trainer who is training some of those guys. And by the way, Matt Gates at XPE and him and Tony Villani, they have some of the fastest players every single year who run in these. And so it's part of how they make their name. And I remember him coming to me and I asked him, I said, what was the explanation for that? And he's like, there really wasn't. And they did that with some other players too, where the official time actually was, being rolled back from what they initially showed. And so maybe that needs some sort of explanation. But what I kind of see when I first saw this was, all right, he's doing a favor for the agent, but also he's doing a favor for the NFL because Carnell Tate's viewed as a top 10 pick. The only thing that would potentially hold him back would be saying, oh, he's not quite explosive or fast enough, which if you watch the tape and you watch him play, you're not concerned about that. It's one of the reasons why I never put stock in the Combine anyway. But the fact that Schefter would do it, it's revealing to the fact that there's now this relationship between ESPN and the NFL where he's going to be that mouthpiece to try to make things seem like, okay, like this is, we don't want to scare guys off from coming here in the future if they happen to run slow, when really he was like the only guy who ran slow. It was a historical year and guys running fast. So gone are the days of someone just having a bad start. Gone are the days of anyone like performing bad, say, hey, you know what, I'll run better my pro day. No, we're just going to make excuses or put out tweets like this to try to, buddy up with the agent and make sure that we don't hurt players coming here in the future. Like, that's where this is going now. That's unfortunately how the Combine is. It's not as much suspense as it used to be.
I like it. I like the phoniness. I like the catering to. I like it. It's one big hodgepodge of brand building. I had the thought process of go do the combine. Don't put too much. If I'm a player, I'm not putting too much into what my performance is. I'm going to relax. I'm going to do what I need to do because the work has already been done. If you're outside of my interview, that's it. Outside of my interview, if you're going to judge what I can do off of what I did at the combine and not my body of work, then that's a decision that you got to make. And you weren't meant to draft me, and I wasn't meant to be drafted by you. But what I would be focused in on is making sure that I take full advantage of the spotlight and the megaphone that is on the NFL Combine. This is more of an age and an era of building your brand. I mean, we hear name, image, and likeness ad nauseum for college. It really does mean your name and your image and your likeness. So if you're going to the Combine, go with a plan. Have a plan on how you're going to maximize your conversations with the media, what you want your message to what you want it to be, all those different things, because to me, that's what this all is about. Brand building for Adam Schefter. Like, he gets to get inside information. Brand building for GMs or coaches. Just fall asleep. You get to create a different element to how they view you. You know,
I don't know if that's brand building.
You've added to your brand. I mean, I don't know what that is. I mean, sometimes superheroes get tired.
Maybe a mattress firm.
There you go. Right. There's always an opportunity to maximize on what you do. So
right now, he might not be the coach of the Jets anymore, but
then he'll have more time with his mattress firm.
But the problem though is that if it's clear that one of the insiders or reporters has an agenda or is being fed, like it all of a sudden, it's hard to take the event seriously if you know that people are filtering information out there to try and make results different than what they were to get somebody drafted.
Isn't that what an insider is supposed to give you the information that people on the inside are giving you?
It's a time. You start it and stop it. There should be no agenda attached. It is what it is, and he's coming out with different times now.
Because there's always different times.
There is. Every team keeps their own times. But I would also say for them to then come out and not, why not give Brennan Thompson's hand times then? If those are probably going to be closer to the record at 4.21, 4.22, like somewhere in that ballpark, because that's how far off we're talking about the official time was to some of the reported hand times that he had. Why not report that? I mean, that's the issue that I have with it is, if you're Adam Schefter and you're trying to represent ESPN or the NFL and you are, let's just call it what it is, like the go-to insider, you have an obligation to the public too. To me, this isn't about brand building. This is kind of like where we are right now with our media, our news media. And I'm not trying to go into the news media venture of that, but I think we all would agree. It depends on which side they're talking from. Like, everything's manipulated. Everything, like, there can't ever just be, hey, this is what his time was. There's a thought that some people had him faster on the hand times, and then explain the fact that most teams have scouts, have coaches, whoever, hand timing them too, because they want to have a database of their own times. And one of the reasons they want to have a database of their own times is because every single year, the official timer, some of that stuff could change. And as I said to you before, guys who are in this industry where they basically train these guys for 6 to 8 to 10 weeks and turn them into track athletes, they are more in tune with it than anyone. I mean, they're the ones that are watching these guys run a preliminary 40. And then as they train, watching the splits, watching the numbers from then. And so they know what these guys can hit. And so when they have a series of guys who aren't hitting those numbers, even though they've been training for the past 2 months to 2.5 months, they know that there's probably something off with the equipment because all these guys are highly invested in all this. But the point is, like, Schefter has an obligation, at least in my mind, to be able to provide information to people in a manner that isn't going to be manipulated. And unfortunately, like, we as an audience have now grown accustomed to all these agents feeding these insiders with whatever they want to say. I mean, how many times have we seen a tweet that was like, had like a copy and paste, section that wasn't edited off?
Oh, still happens.
And it's crazy to me that, like, there's no checks and balances of this. Of like, all right, well, is this what's good? I mean, and obviously it's sports, so we don't take it as seriously as we do with other things, but it exists in other realms of our life right now. So I looked at that and I thought that was one of the things that stood out to me as far as, and I'd love to see what the ratings are, because I'm sure they're not hitting what they used to. Maybe with the new data and big panel rating system, they'll prop it up somehow. But it's losing its luster. It's not what it once was. And I think part of that's the fact that it kind of is what it is. And the NFL never really figured out how to, continue to make this thing grow. And so, that you're trying to do all you can with it. And one of those things is making sure that they get the top players to come to the combine and perform. And by having Carnell Tate's back, his agent's back, that's one way of doing it for the future. Is guys saying, hey, if you go there and even if you don't perform that great, we'll make sure we got you covered. I mean, now look, maybe this is just Daniel, because Daniel's a super nice guy, but even the analysis for the most part has become super kind. And I'm not saying that like Mike Mayock and Daniel Jeremiah are not the same guy, obviously. But it seems like even the conversation around the performances are super kind and kind of soft. And if there's a missed throw, it's, well, this is the combine. It's hard to get timing down with these guys. It didn't used to be that way. And so I feel like even the conversation around their performance has changed as far as how critical guys are going to be.
Yeah, because, things that matter now didn't matter too much before. People's emotions. Y'all made fun of me, like, talking about the whole Anthony Richardson thing, but it's real. I'm telling you, these kids they rap differently, man. They are different people. And the culture and the society that is being catered to and being entertained.
So let me play out this scenario. You're saying if he just pulled up at the 30-yard line of the 40-yard dash,
they would still talk kindly.
Take me out.
They'd find a way.
That was an incredible 30-yard dash.
Schefter would have reported
that's exactly what I'm saying.
As the greatest 30-yard dash of all time.
Because the sensitivities that these young men have are also has to be an adaptive approach by the agents and the agencies. So they're in turn going to become touch sensitive and very sensitive about how things are handled as well. It's a trickle down effect. I'm telling you, these dudes are different, man. It's a different day and age.
Me, say the quote: "Tough times make
tough dudes. Tough times make tough dudes, or hard times make tough dudes. Tough dudes make easier times. Easier times make make soft dudes. Soft dudes make hard times. Repeat the process. It's something like that.
Like maybe we're in that cycle somewhere.
We might be in the cycle of my dad walked to work.
Like things are going to get a lot harder.
Granddad walked to work. Great granddad walked to work. Granddad drove a caddy to work. Dad drove a Range Rover. I drove a Lamborghini. My son will walk to work. Like the whole process. It's kind of soft these days. It's kind of soft.
It's also
very catering culture.
You mentioned, in other, news outlets, media, whatever, the agenda, the pushing a narrative. It's kind of insulting to a listener or a viewer when they don't want to just give you the information and let you sort it out and let you figure out which side you fall on or what your opinion is. They want to guide you along in the process. This is how you should feel about it. This is why you should feel this way about it. No, how about these are just combine times and results, and you just give us the information, the factual information, and let's just play this down the middle, and then we decide moving forward how we feel about something. And when it comes to this event, and if that's basically what it is, it's turned into a TV show, I don't know about you guys, but I can remember when you were drafted, and I can remember watching from that side of it and looking at it and going, it didn't feel like a TV show. It felt like teams in the league trying to get better, and there was a lot of great players like yourselves who were providing organizations hope. There was no agenda being pushed. There was nothing, an insider trying to get one guy's information out there over somebody else's because he's buddy with an agent. It was just a draft so that teams could get better and players could realize their dreams. And now it's a TV show, a 3-day TV show that moves around the country, and that's awesome. But I found myself less interested in this combine this year than I have in recent years.
You just have to want to be interested, though. You got to want to be interested for what you're interested for.
But if it's not on the up and up, why would I want to be interested in
I mean, there's only so much up and up you can get.
Okay.
You know, if you're watching it for pure entertainment value, if a dude jumped high, he jumped high.
I mean, at least WWE's transparent about it. Like, hey, this is what it is. It's entertainment.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Well, it is the same thing, though. The NFL is the same thing as the WWE.
All right. But it shouldn't be.
But it is.
Okay, that's a problem.
But but it isn't a problem because you feel as though it should be. You have invested an emotion in what you think it should be. That means you've exercised some ownership over how you feel about what they're doing. Didn't they have a wellness coach? Speaking of all this, didn't they have like a happy coach, a nice coach for the Super Bowl or this year that they made it a point to advertise about? Like, we have a wellness coach or whatever, be nice to the people person for the NFL.
Was that just because it was in San Francisco though? Like what? I mean,
hey, bro, you know when we're having a segment like this, it does make you start to think about was it intentional for the Super Bowl to be in San Francisco this year at a time like now?
I remember the Super Bowl in New York. It would not have been like that. I think you would agree.
Yeah, I mean,
they'd have a guy being like, hey, "Get out of my way."
Hey,
get the hell out of here.
Hey, shut the hell up. Forget about it. Go to the deli right there. Yeah, get out of here. Like, listen, I'm just saying, and that was maybe a different time in our culture, in our society. Like, I don't think for 2 seconds that wasn't a thought process in where the Super Bowl was this year. And more and more thinking about it and the agendas that are very, very front of mind, very front and center, you know, the whole equality, you know, the letters, the whole LGBTQRS. Listen, I don't know all the letters, but LGTB. Anyway, the whole agenda of
Brady, what's he talking about?
The whole agenda of all of these different groups.
Not touching it.
Hey, listen. There are cultural implications to not doing things the right way. Like what they have in the back of the end zones all year, and they continue to do it. The back of helmets
changing. Yeah.
It's like those
tweets where something happens, someone tweets something out, it immediately changes the situation.
There's a culture